Hello, hello, hello! How are you doing, my fellow grapplers? I was making a huge video, but then I thought that maybe it was too much for just one video, so we're gonna do small chunks. This one is going to be entirely focused on 3 safe jumps. First of all, you have to know that for every single of these setups, as I mentioned, you need a counter hit drive impact. That is the first thing. The first one was created by A2ZOMG from the Zangief Discord. The other one I think is me, because I haven't seen anyone do something like that, and that is modern Zangief friendly, but it has a few issues regarding how it works. And the third one, I don't know who created it, but it's a good setup and you have to know it, and that is in the corner. So let's start with the first one, which is the A2 setup. This is by far, in my opinion, the best setup Zangief has in this game. In this case, I made Guile wake up with somersault, with the OD flash kick. If we remove that, you'll see that if they block, you are plus 11. In this plus 11 situation, you can go for headbutt, which is basically the best thing you can do. You can delay the medium SPD or OD SPD, but headbutt is usually the best idea because they might want to backdash or jump. For back rise, the jumping medium punch is necessary. You have to hit it very low into the ground. This is pretty freaking good because it covers all options with only 2 significant exceptions. One is Marisa's armor, the OD armor, you know, when she puts her hands up like blocking. That stance beats this. She will be able to block it and do something about it. And the other one is, as you know, OD amnesia. Not the regular amnesia, the OD amnesia. If they neutralize, or as the game calls it, recover in place, you can use a standing hard punch. However, if you go for standing hard punch, you have to be careful about some extra specials. One of them is the OD version of Sumo Headbutt. That beats any safe jump that includes a jumping hard punch. And the power-up version of the DP that Lily has, which is the when she has one wind stock and she wakes up with the DP. You are plus 13. Safe jump number 2 is the one that is friendly to modern Zangief players. Instead of using the headbutt and the dry brush standing medium kick, you use hard kick, neutral hard kick, dry brush, standing medium punch. As you can see, you beat the OD flash kick. Now, what is the problem with this one? And for this one, a big difference is that you can use the jumping medium punch and the jumping hard punch. You can exchange both of them because you're closer than the safe jump number 1, where if they back rise, you always have to use jumping medium punch. In fact, to be honest, for safe jump number 1, I would always use jumping medium punch. But for this one, you can exchange them if you want. Now, what is the problem with this safe jump? It will always lose to Lily power-up DP. Always. You don't have enough frames to actually block it, so you will lose to that. Secondly, if you jump with hard punch and Honda uses OD Sumo Headbutt, it will beat your safe jump. So for that specific matchup, you will always use jumping medium punch. And in terms of OD Amnesia and OD Armor of Marisa, you will lose against those 2. But apart from those moves, everything that is a DP, a 5-frame DP, will beat this safe jump. That means mostly light DPs. That is light DPs for all the Shotos or light flash kick. To give you an example, let's see that. We have OD flash kick and we have the light somersault. You'll see that I will lose to this, even with jumping medium punch. See? And could be the case that in the future, some moves could be added on top of the ones I mentioned right now. For example, Aki, she can slide. The OD slide is invincible to attacks but not grabs. So she can technically also escape any of these two setups. So what do you do? How do you cover them? Well, there's a thing that is the charged Dropkick OS into either Parry or SPD. This is really hard to do. You need to set it up something like this. If you hear Zangief screaming, you're doing it correctly. Basically, it means that the landing frames of the charged dropkick can be cancelled into anything. So you do a fake out. That means if they don't press anything because they're waiting for the safe jump, you can cancel the recovery frames of this with OD SPD or Parry in order to bait whatever they want to do. If you do it absolutely perfectly, you can hit the opponent if they block and you're gonna be plus, or if you OS the parry, that means if they wake up with something invincible and the dropkick whiffs, the parry will come out and you will beat anything they might do, unless they're waiting, because obviously they can wait. And if they eat the charged dropkick, you can dash after it with drive rush, or you can just use your plus frames. The game tells you you're negative, but in fact you're like plus whatever. It is really freaking high. See? That was a perfect, almost perfect dropkick. You're technically way closer to the ground when you do the perfect version, and you can dash immediately. This is kinda hard to get, but you can do something like that. If you would have woken up with OD flash kick, I would have covered all the options. The OD amnesia, for OD amnesia and OD armor, you can use the DSPD, which is basically this. See? That is how it works. Medium SPD allows you to bait it. This works with both safe jump, also with the third one that we're gonna see in just a few seconds. This safe jump is pretty strong, especially the first one. I would recommend always going for the first one, unless you are getting used to the timing of neutral headbutt, this is the hardest part of the side jump, I would say. You can do them anywhere in the screen, both of them. Just be wary of the warnings I told you. So the second one has a lot of moves that you have to be more careful about. This is very interesting. This is done after, and you might have seen this safe jump being done by Snake Eyes. Basically, you need Super 2, and you kill frames like this. Oh, before I forget, I almost forgot about this. Since safe jumps, these 3 safe jumps are perfect in terms of frames. That means how you land into the opponent. They can wake up with parry. That's another thing I was forgetting. They can wake up with parry, and if they do, they're gonna get a perfect parry. So that's another incentive to change it up with a dropkick SPD. This last setup, you can use the hard punch or medium punch depending on Honda. Remember that Honda is a very specific character, so against Honda you will always use jumping medium punch. Just remember, mix these safe jumps with the dropkick OS into parry or SPD. Remember, medium SPD. Well, in the case of this one, you can use hard SPD because you're closer to them, but anything mid-screen, always use the medium SPD just in case. One thing I should mention is that there are more setups than these 3 setups. There are some things that I've done in the corner. Almost all of them involve drive impact. The difference with these 3 setups, I feel, is that you don't lose that much. The amount of damage you get from the drive impact is not bad. You can do them anywhere in the screen. Just remember that the first one, especially the first one of all of these setups, is freaking strong. So don't be scared to go for them, Because usually when you get a punish drive impact, you either do SPD or Russian suplex, right? Those are just options for maybe headbutt lariat. And you'll see here that this, while good, you do 2,520 damage, which is fine. But you're doing a little bit over 2,000 with a plus 11. So you're losing damage, that is true, always. And this is a case for every single setup in the game. This is not just an ordinary thing for Zangief. Every single setup sacrifices damage for the plus frames. Remember that I'm streaming, usually during the weekdays, during the weekdays. If you want to jump in and we can talk about Zangief and other characters. If you have any ideas, leave them here. I'll be sure to look them up. And we'll be talking Zangief in the future also, as you know. Take care, grapplers. Have a great day. And we'll continue in the future. Thank you so much. And remember to hit the subscribe button. Take care. Bye-bye.